Hello, team. Welcome to another weekly sales meeting. We've got a great lineup today and a lot to discuss. I'm going to get started and recognize a huge month last month, a new record month for UMortgage on fundings, over 580 units, 192 million. The most important part of the month is the cycle times, the execution, which is, of course, the most important thing to all of our customers and our partners. You know, we averaged 12.5 calendar days from application complete, so TRID complete, to clear to close, which is just, as fast as you can go right now in the industry. And that's across all products, non-QM, FHA, VA, you name it, we did it across all products. And we had a plus 95 NPS score for the month, which is reflective of our lifetime score as well. So I want to give a big shout out to all of our operations team members, our closing, post-closing, doing everything they need to do, especially there in that last week of the month. We had a really big last week of the month, really big last day of the month. So great job, everybody. We appreciate your hard work. We appreciate everything you did to make sure that we got our customers to the table, that they got their homes on time. So amazing job across the board. From a sales perspective, great job bringing in the business and doing what we could to support our operations people. Now we're heading into May with the focus on taking it to another level, going over 600 units for the first time, going over 200 million in funding for the first time. And we're going to continue to build off of this as we grow into a shrinking market. So, dominates the focus. Everybody else can talk about, how bad the market is. Everybody else can talk about everything that's wrong in the market. We're going to battle it out. We're going to do what it takes to win. We all know that it's going to be a little bit more chippy out there. There's less inventory. We know it's going to take more offers, but we got to keep our borrowers in the game. We have to stay in the game. We have to lead by example, by showing up every day, by encouraging our borrowers to do what it takes for the next offer and keeping our realtors focused. So, I'm going to transition here and talk a little bit about level up sales coaching. So as everybody knows, we're getting ready to launch this. First and foremost, I want to make sure that everybody understands how important level up sales coaching isn't just to UMortgage, but to the entire alignment of our organization, the focus on getting better every single day. At the end of the day, it's like, there's this concession that's been made in the mortgage industry where it's like, hey, there's this 80-20 rule and the top 20%, do 80% of the business. I don't believe that, okay? I believe that leadership and accountability and coaching for everybody is how we all get better together. Yeah, there might be a top 5%, a top 10%, top 15%, but at the end of the day, whoever we're competing to get better against, or if we're just simply competing against ourselves to get better every single day, we need to make sure that we're pushing. There's too many people that I talk to that have gotten complacent, have, got into a cycle where during the pandemic, they stopped going to closings. They stopped doing all the things it took to build their business. They pivoted to refi. And now in this market, they really don't have consistent business coming in the door. Well, it takes what it takes to get back in the game. It takes what it takes from a coaching perspective to do to share best practices, to make sure that we're holding our people accountable. I had a great story last week while I was in Texas at the Dallas branch with the NXT team. I shared something with Nash Paradise. I was like, hey, Ryan's doing an amazing job. I love how he's coaching. I love how he's getting in the game and really helping his fellow team members. It was hard not to see how great he is at leading and coaching. And Nash was like, yeah, but Anthony, I'm coaching him on being disciplined with his time and making sure that he's, prioritizing things he needs to get done. He needs to be able to balance coaching, his fellow team members with his own things, not just spending it all in one place. So, that was a great insight. I was sitting there just, focused on like, wow, this is what I'm seeing. It's great. And he's sitting there saying, hey, I'm focused on not only helping the whole team, but, Ryan's my guy. I want to help him get better. And I love that accountability, the focus on, we're supporting something great, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure everybody's winning. We want to make sure we have those disciplines. We have that accountability to help our fellow team members out. So level up sales coaching, we put a lot of time and effort into it. We're going to continue to invest in it. And it's all about making sure we are all getting better together. Somebody asked me the other day, is this optional? It's not optional. And, at the end of the day, that might weed out some people. That might become a barrier to entry. If people aren't showing up, we're not going to have them here. Like at the end of the day, it's like we're all in or we're not here at all. We're talking about 6 hours a month. We're talking about doing what it takes on a daily basis. And there's no excuses at the end of the day. Just like I show up every day for everybody here, I expect you to show up for yourself. I expect you to do what it takes to best serve your community. That doesn't mean you got to work 70 hours. Like that's not the formula. The formula is when I'm working 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever that is, I'm going to be effective. I'm going to do what it takes to serve my community, to make sure I'm serving as many home buyers as I could possibly serve. So that's the goal. That's the game. That's our focus. And we're going to do it together as a team. Last thing I want to talk about, and this really lends on to the sales coaching part of it. is, a lot of people talk about all these different ways to be successful. There's a lot of different things that people say out there, but at the end of the day, there really is not that many options. Okay. It comes down to consistency. It comes down to being persistent. And in markets like this, it comes down to being relentless. And it takes what it takes to win. It takes what it takes to win. You can't win sitting on your ass at home. You can't win watching from the sidelines. You can't win and grow a business watching everybody else execute, okay? And talking about what it takes, okay? I see all these people talking about what it takes, but not doing what it takes. And our focus here is doing what it takes. We're gonna lead, okay? This is a leadership organization. That's our focus. The reason why people come to UMortgage is because of leadership, because they know we're getting after it. They know we're focused. They know we have our eye on the prize at all times. So you can't just come here and get the jolt here and there. You gotta be part of it. You gotta execute. You gotta do what it takes. And we're gonna make sure we're doing it together. That's why we're doing partnership playbook. That's why we do the daily sales huddle. That's why we bring forward these marketing resources and all these different things to make sure our loan officers have an edge, have all the tools to go out there and win business and compete in their markets. And on top of the best pricing and best operations and all that stuff. So here's my big challenge to everybody out there is, the one or two things you gotta not do to be successful. Whether it's, partying on the weekends, whether it's, not spending your time discipline, not managing your time, not being, not dialing in your daily schedule, not going to open houses. Like, the things that you need to do and the things you don't need to do. And my challenge to you is identify just one of each, okay? Identify one thing you need to do that you need to do, but you're not doing, and identify one thing that you are doing that you shouldn't be doing and you got to stop doing, and start to execute on just one of each of those, okay? Take that as your May challenge. Hey, I'm gonna get rid of that one thing that I'm doing that makes me wake up late, or that one thing that, takes me off the week when I go golfing midweek, whatever that is. And then I'm gonna add that one thing I need to do. I'm gonna call 20 agents a day like we talked about. I'm gonna call my past clients. I'm going to make sure I ask for a referral from everybody I talk to. Whatever that thing is, add one and subtract one, and you're going to see very quickly that you're going to start to get better every day. I'm going to hand it off to Rebecca, and I'll be back shortly.
Why should you post on social media? Why would somebody trust you, a stranger, just because they saw you on their phone? So I'm Rebecca, branch manager based out of Charlotte. And the reason that I really believe in social media is simply because it allows me to have a larger audience to talk to. So as someone that wears many hats, I have to find a way to multiply myself. And while it's fantastic to have those one-on-one meetings with your realtors and clients and referral partners, sometimes because of life's demands, it's difficult to do that. And being able to use social media allows me to send out my message, but allow it to be one-to-many instead of just one-to-one. The biggest thing that's important when you're posting on social is to be personable, be relatable. You don't want to be a robot. You don't need to be a mortgage machine. Nobody wants that. They want to talk to a real human. And so what you need to think about is, what does your ideal client care about? What do they need to hear? Not what you think that they need to hear, but what are they wondering about? What are they scared about? What questions would they ask? How would they ask them? What words that would they use? So make sure that you're really putting yourself in their shoes. It is an exercise in empathy to see this process from their perspective and not ours. One of the biggest hurdles that I hear people say of why they're not posting on social is, I don't know what to say. So that's not an excuse that I think is very valid, because we answer questions all day long. One, you can start with the questions that your clients ask you. Just answer them on social. If you want to elevate your content, one, marketing already puts out some great materials. So make sure that you're paying attention when the marketing calendar comes out, because that gives you your inspiration and your ideas and the materials right there. If you're not posting what marketing at least provides for you, you're really sabotaging yourself. But if you want to level it up, also take that material and shoot a video on it. You pretty much will have those talking points either through the images that have been produced or even the copy that goes along with it. So I want to see you on social because I want everybody to win, and I promise you can do it.
UMortgage family, Matt Gougé, Matt the Mortgage Guy out here in California, excited to be on today's sales meeting talking about finding the balance. And that's in your business, that's in business and personal life, that's all things. We talked about this on Monday's sales huddle. So I want to dig in a little bit about how you find the balance. In this case, I'm talking about between managing a full pipeline and generating new business. In order to continually generate new business in mortgage, you have to be intentional. And in my opinion, you have to track. It doesn't matter what you track necessarily. Everybody runs their business a little bit differently, but please track something, whether it's how many real estate agents you called this week, whether it's how many leads you took in, how many credit pulls you had. If you have the Master Your Day worksheet, you can track how many points you have every day. This is going to be the leading indicator on how much future business you're going to have. And then you can track closed loans, closed volumes, and things like that. And if you're really looking at this stuff, you'll realize, oh, wow, all this activity in November and December is what propelled me to have a good Q1. All the stuff I did January, February, and March, wow, no wonder I'm having a good Q2, because the activities. And if you don't track it, you're probably not going to be honest with yourself. A lot of us can probably relate. If you just were asked on a Sunday, how'd you do this week when it came to diet and exercise? Well, I ate pretty good, I think. And then, I was active most days. If you tracked it, that's the way to be honest with yourself. That's the way to hold yourself accountable. And you went into, an app that listed every single thing you had, then you can say, I had 2,200 calories on Monday. I had 1,900 calories on Tuesday, right? That's what you want to do with your business. There's no business out there, mortgage or otherwise, that goes in without a plan, without some sort of tracking, without accountability. So why would you do that in mortgage? Just sit there and wait for the business to come to you and hope it all works out, right? And so by doing this and by playing offense, like I talked about on Monday on the sales meeting, you're going to be intentional. You're going to be doing these revenue generating activities, these things that bring in business, that get you in front of more referral partners, more future clients, and the business is going to come. But you have to be intentional about it. You have to plan your day ahead and be doing that consistently. You can't let whatever time you're going to dedicate to making sure in-process files are moving get in the way of daily holding yourself accountable to spending a certain number of hours prospecting. One last thing I want to talk about too, because I think it's vitally important. Knowledge drives confidence. One of the activities I track is how much mortgage news I'm ingesting. I've got something that I've got to check a box every day before 9 a.m. I have to have at least 30 minutes of mortgage news ingested. I want to get better every day. I know that by getting better, it's going to drive more business, because knowledge drives confidence. I feel more confident if I know more, and I'm speaking from a place of authority. It's going to allow me to generate more business. The way I show up when I speak to a client, the way I present, the way I talk to referral partners, I show up better. I'm going to get more business. So call to action, get on those daily sales huddles, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, every single day. Learn from your peers. Everybody's doing things a little bit different in different parts of the country. You'll pick up a piece here. You'll pick up a piece here. You'll get better every day. And by getting better every day, all of a sudden, you're going to see your business explode. Thanks, guys.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. This is Allan with UMortgage. I've been with us just for a little bit, but today we're going to talk about building relationships with realtors. This is really, really important, guys. How I do it is providing weekly meetings with my realtors. I myself do them on Mondays. It gets the week started for our realtors. And we also get to talk about the things that are going on with them, right? What deals they have going, what questions they may have on the lender side. We always try to make sure that we're available for them. And that's the way that I provide that service. Why is it impactful to host trainings as well? Trainings are really good for especially newer realtors. I find it a really, really, I guess it's near and dear to my heart to actually give realtors some education back, right? We were all new one time. We just want to make sure that we just help the industry go forward. We also gain insight by meeting with them on a weekly basis. You got to be consistent. You got to stay in there. And the call to action, right? You guys got to jump in there, start a team meeting, get started with that today.
Hello, everybody. Milko, Castellanos, Clockwork Lending down here in Florida at UMortgage. I was asked to come on and do a video on calendars, efficiencies, activities, and how to use your calendar the correct way. I was actually an athletic director in my prior life before I became a mortgage loan officer. I've been a loan officer for 20 years. So I've been able to use this calendar when I was an athletic director to schedule appointments, move things around, and do things in the efficient time periods that needed to be done. You have to do a lot of scheduling when you're an athletic director. So in the business world, I kind of did the same thing with my calendar. And now when I've come here to UMortgage, it's been a dream come true in reference to having a calendar that I can set up in a way where I have different colors for different activities, and I have it set up strategically. So I'm going to show you how my calendar is set up. Basically, you're going to see there's 4 different colors. One of the colors is yellow. That's for anything that's video, anything that's email, anything that is not actually communicating physically with the person. The next thing you're going to see is a blue color. The blue color is my personal activities, things that I like to do. The next thing is green. Green are income producing activities. These are the best ones. Green on the screen is what you're always looking for. Then we have purple, which is stuff from UMortgage, our color. Every time we have a sales huddle or a meeting, that pops up in purple. And then I also have purple for my end of business email clear out and beginning of business email clear out. You're going to see that on my calendar there. So the way I like to set up my schedule is according to how business flows and how business works. Typically on Mondays, most people are upset. They have to go to work. They're not in a good mood. So I'm not going to call them with a cold call or drive up and say hello when they don't even want to talk to me. So Mondays, I book a ton of yellow, which is a lot of the video stuff there on that day. That way I can get all of this work done. Now, Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, you're going to see there's phone call days. There's also days that I'm driving. These are days that I go out and get income producing activities. You're going to see that on the calendar as well. The end of the day, I always check my calendar and make sure that I've done everything that needed to be done. The beginning of every single day, I task the assignments that need to be done for the day, and I make sure I do not end my day until those assignments are done. But at the end of the week, you're going to be able to see all of the green on the screen. The goal is to get as much green on the screen as possible. So if somebody calls you for a 9 o'clock appointment on a Wednesday and you have a video call, that video is not going to get done. You're going to be going to that 9 o'clock meeting because that is a meeting that is an income producing activities. Remember, you have to control and dominate your calendar. And when you're talking to a possible client, you're going to talk to them and you're going to let them know when they ask you, hey, do you have availability in your calendar? You're going to let them know that my calendar is always available to you because I control my calendar and there's not an appointment that I'd rather have than to meet with you. So go ahead and book on the calendar whenever you'd like. These are the ways that you're going to be able to control your business and be able to control the days and the flow of your work.
Thanks, Milko. And that is the ultimate cheat code, everybody. Managing your calendar, managing your time. Time is everything. So thank you for that, Milko. So I'm going to get started. We have 2 things here before we wrap up. Number 1, the Future of Housing virtual event. I'm going to be doing this with Logan Matashami from Housing Wire here on Tuesday, May 23rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a great event. If you're not familiar with Logan, follow him on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. He is by far and away brings the best data and insights to loan officers, to the real estate community. It really gives you an idea of what's happening, why it's happening. You know, we see week over week the applications are either going up or going down. Housing inventory is going up or coming down. He's providing data that's giving us insights that tell us where it's going 6 months from now, 12 months from now, and why. So, really brilliant guy. We're going to be doing this virtual event, and this is all focused on real estate agent partners, influencers in our community. To be honest with you, homeowners want to know about this information too. This is all about where home prices are going. What do we see for inventory in Q3 and Q4? So it's going to be a really informative, high value virtual event that we'll be sharing with our partners in our network. We want to make sure we get as many people in there as possible. And again, follow Logan. You'll learn a lot. You'll be able to share a lot with your community. It's great content. Last thing I want to hit on here before we wrap up is a big shout out to Kayla Lopez, who was recognized by Housing Wire as one of the 2023 Rising Stars. Kayla's been with us very, very much since the beginning. She's our Senior Vice President of Strategy, working every single day with a team focused on building UMortgage 2.0. When we talk about UMortgage 2.0, it's all about the future. It's not being in the day-to-day business today. A lot of people don't understand, like, hey, if you're in the day-to-day business today, there's a lot of fires that come up. There's a lot of things that come that are going to distract you. So if you're thinking long-term, and then every other day you're pivoting and looking at the fire that you got to put out today, if you're playing whack-a-mole with the issues that come up throughout the week, you're not going to be able to stay long-term focused. You're not going to dial in the things that matter. So, the team that she's leading is all focused on where we're going. It's all about building the platform long term. It's a major investment that we're making to take, a half a dozen of our key people to build that and to focus on that. But at the end of the day, it's worth it because we're long-term focused. It's not about winning the month. It's not about winning the week. It's not about being top of the leaderboard. We're focused on sustainable growth. We're focused on getting better every day, and we're long-term focused. So, big shout out to Kayla. She's done an amazing job. We appreciate her. She's been a rising star way before Housing Wire recognized her, and we thank her. So that's it for the week, guys. Have a great rest of the week and talk to you soon.